Gosh, first of all, let me fix myself for the YouTube crowd. In fact, let me just, oh yeah, this is not professional recording 101, okay? We're just gonna boop, boop, boop. Look at that. All right, that's much better.
Your love is rated X. That means you're extraordinary.
Throw your hands up if you know that you're a star. You better stand up if you know just who you are. Never give up, never come too far. Girl power, girl power. Throw your hands up if you know that you're a star. You better stand up if you know just who you are. Never give up, never say die. Girl power, girl power. What? Sometimes. Let me stop. That is my jam. What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk. Oh my gosh. First of all, let me fix myself for the YouTube crowd. In fact, let me just, oh yeah, this is not professional recording 101, okay? We're just gonna boop, boop, boop. Look at that. All right, that's much better. It's like for everybody who's listening on the podcast, you can't see, but on YouTube, they could like only see me from the neck up. I looked crazy. I was just a floating head talking about girl power. Anyway, yes, Stanley is here. He's making an appearance. That's my Stanley cup. You guys, welcome back. First of all, let me scoot over close. Oh my God. Let me scoot over close to this mic. First of all, let me say this. We're gonna get it together one day. But also, if I'm struggling. So first of all, I feel bad for anybody who lives in my apartment building. I feel bad for my roommate because I feel like I'm screaming, and that's because, again, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see these headphones. This is the first time I've like used these headphones in like forever, and I realize it's because I think actually only one side. I don't know. They're kind of quiet, to be honest, but like they're very muffling. Like these are studio headphones, so like everything is muffled out here. So like I can barely hear myself. It's crazy. It's crazy. So y'all just, hey, oh my gosh. So the microphone's been all the way over here this entire time and it has not picked up on me. Isn't that crazy? What's even more crazy is like now I can actually hear myself in my ears. That's crazy. But I probably look crazy to YouTube like this. So y'all just pray for elevation and better mics, okay? Because I know y'all are tired of me being in the mic like this. You know, you can't see anything. But it's good because, again, with my iPhone headphones, Apple headphones, I couldn't really hear anything. I just had to trust that the quality was going to be good, and the enhance feature when I'm done recording would help out. But now I can actually hear myself in these headphones, so that's crazy. Yeah, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk. I hope you guys had a good week. This week has been weeking. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is Wednesday evening, and I've left work before 12 o'clock twice this week. And that's all I'm gonna say about that, because I am believing God for a miracle. Amen. Y'all excuse me if I'm getting a sip of my water. It is what it is. I'm human. Excuse me. You're going to hear me on the podcast. You're going to hear me say, excuse me a lot. On YouTube, you're going to see me turn away and say, excuse me a lot. It's because I've said this before, but I just feel like I have to say it again for that person who wasn't paying attention, or if this is your first time joining us over here at Let's Talk. I had bariatric surgery in February. I am releasing a lot of gas, that initial gas that you get pumped up in you when you have the surgery. It takes about a year for it to fully go away. So, yeah, I burp a lot more. It is what it is. I'm human, you know, contrary to what men believe. Women do poop, we do fart, we do burp. Okay. It is what it is. Like, sorry that was a little vulgar, but it's absolutely true. Do we have to let you know all the time that we're doing those things? No, but I mean, it's one of those things that comes along with having the surgery and being a better version and a healthier version of me. So is what it is. So yeah, if you guys, I know you guys are probably confused, like, why should she keep doing that? That's why. Just a little burp, just gotta turn away. Excuse me. All right, anyway, let's get into it. So let's start this off. First of all, I gotta go get to what I want to get to for you guys. But for those of you who are new here, we have 4 segments that we break this podcast down into. We have our first segment called Word on the Street. That is our hot topic gossip section of the podcast. That is where we talk about, what's going on right now in the culture and in the world. We've got Big Ups, which is where we give some, big ups, some props to people doing great things out here in the culture. And then we have got our segment called Flavor in Your Ear. That is where we shout out some music that we're listening to right now to put you guys on to something new or put you back on to something old, but that still slaps. And then last but not least is our conversation segment where we talk about our topic for the day. So with that being said, we're going to jump right into Word on the Street. All right, guys. So I only have one word on the street, and that's because I feel like the gravity of it is so serious that we should spend time on that. Where I let myself down is that I don't have the story for you, but I can give you the brief synopsis. So singer and voiceover actress Tori Kelly, American Idol alum, she has been rushed to the hospital she's in the ICU right now due to blood clots. So that is very scary. What's crazy is she actually had a song that's supposed to be coming out this week, I believe. And so, if you guys don't know Tori Kelly, like I said, she's a singer. She's the elephant from the movie Sing. She's the voice of the elephant from the movie Sing. And she's also an American Idol alum. She and Todrick Hall were on the same season together. So, but she's beautiful voice, beautiful person. Tori is a believer. And she's a down chick, and she's actually like biracial. Did you guys know that? I know you probably thought she was 100% white. She's not. It's crazy. But either way, outside of all that, her soul is the most beautiful thing. And so this is very sad to hear that she's dealing with this medical condition. And on top of that, blood clots are scary. Blood clots are not an easy thing to deal with. They're pretty scary. So shout out to the doctors that are taking care of Tori, and we just pray for her healing. And we just pray that she has a speedy recovery and a quick turnaround, and that nothing is terminal, everything is fixable, and she's able to walk out of that hospital this week. But more importantly, that she's able to get the rest that she needs, be it in the hospital and after when she gets home. So you guys keep Tori Kelly in your prayers, and like really pray. When people say that, like, I'll keep you in my prayers, they don't ever do anything with it. Really do something about it. Really take it to the Lord in prayer. Even if you just say in that moment, God, Lord, I just pray that she is healed in the name of Jesus. That's enough. That is something. He heard that. So to keep her in your actual prayers. Moving on to our next segment, it's Big Ups. Yeah, I only had one story, which was Tori Kelly. To be honest with you, I really don't care too much about anything that's happening right now in the culture because I have my own things going on, and we are going to get to that. That is not me being self-centered. That is just me being like, if I can't mind my business, how am I supposed to mind yours? Okay. Moving on to Big Ups. I want to shout out Ari Lennox. Some of you may know Ari Lennox. She's an R&B singer. She is a natural girl. She typically wears her fro out. And she's just all around great. But Ari Lennox is 7 months sober, and she is more stable, alert, happy, and safe. So she took to social media yesterday on Tuesday to share that she's 7 months sober and shared the positive impact that sobriety has had on her life. So that's really exciting. I love to see people bettering themselves and making better decisions for the betterment of their health and their overall well-being. And so that's really dope. For Ari, and congratulations, number one, congratulations to her, and then congratulations to her for making that first step, for making that decision for herself. Shout out to her for making that decision for herself, and I wish her all the best. Over here at Let's Talk Ari, we are wishing you all the best. We are wishing you the best of luck, and we are so excited for you, and we cannot wait to see where you are even 7 months from now. So congratulations, girl. It is not easy, especially in a world where like drinking and getting wasted and smoking and partying and like having sex all the time is like the life, that people are trying to paint that is so great when it's really not. Either way, we are so proud of you. I'm so proud of you, and you're doing great. You're gonna be fine. So yay. Shout out to Ari Lennox. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm distracted. Let me tell you. So I got this neighbor, and it's weird because he normally parks on the other side of the parking lot, but lately he's been parking on this side of the parking lot, specifically, yes, I said specifically in the spot that's like like right in front of my building. Like my balcony doors are like right in front, and then like his car is like right there. Like he's got a solid view. That's what I'm gonna say. He's got a solid view straight into this apartment. But he don't be, to my knowledge, he doesn't like sit out there and like lurk. And even if he does, I mean, I get it. I'd want to look at me all day too. Okay. No, but I said all that to say, dude's car is loud. It is loud. He's got one of those cars and just be like all the time. It's so annoying, dude. And he leaves like super early for work in the morning. Man, so between him and the trash people when they come and they're boo 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 like at 4 a.m. I'd be so over it, like done for. But he just distracted me because he was walking in with his golf clubs and I was like, what? Where did this dude go golfing at? Where do they golf at around here? But yeah, that's all. Anyway, let's move on to Flavor in Your Ear. You guys know I usually like to give you 2 songs, a secular and a worldly song. And I'm gonna tell you, I actually have 2 for you today. I think one of these songs I've mentioned before, but I can't remember, and I am listening to it a lot now, so it's okay to repeat because everything comes back around. So my first song it's called Lord of All by Brie Babineau. And it is so good. It's a praise song. I don't see Brie doing a lot. Brie is a worshiper. You know, she's a worshiper. I did not. She a slow song singer. But this song, Lord of All, it's more upbeat, it's more praisey. And I like it. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's like, it's got a good mix of like contemporary and like old school churchy. And I like it. I wish our church would do it, but you know, when you're stuck in them ways, you're stuck in them ways. Excuse me. About to choke on air. Amen. But yeah, it's a good one. It gets me pumping in the morning. It sure does. I was actually driving to work this morning and jamming to Jesus Be Offense. And y'all know I low-key hate that song because I feel like I have to sing that song all the time. And, but I was jamming this morning and this lady was walking. My job is like in a pretty residential neighborhood. And so this lady's like power walking up the street with her dog. And I'm like throwing a whole concert in my car. I'm like, come on, say it. My family. Hey, your family. And she looked and she was like, ah, like not scared. She was just like, oh my gosh, I know that she's having fun in that car. I was like, come on, sing it with me. Jesus Be Offense. I love doing stuff like that. Anyway, my next song is called This Is by Ella May. So good. Super, super good. It is a love song, of course, but it is dope. I love it. It's good. You just got to listen to it. It's been on repeat like all week long. It's so good. It's so good. It slaps. In fact, I'm not gonna lie, the piano part makes me want to like bust out my piano real quick and like, not like right now, but like bust out my piano one of these days and just work with it, just play with it, see if it works. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. So that's what I'm listening to. And I'm sorry if my energy is low. I've been up since 4:30 a.m. this morning. Go. And so I haven't got a chance to sit. Like legit, when I say I left work before 12, I left at 11:30. But it didn't stop. Like, and that's the thing that I think sometimes people forget. When you're a content creator, even if you're a nano content creator, is it nano or micro? Either one. Even when you're a small content creator, the work never stops, because usually when you're like a mega content creator, you don't have an additional like 9 to 5 outside of that. Like that is your 9 to 5. That is your full-time job. So you're able to plan out your schedule and be like, okay, I'm working on this from this time to this time, then this from this time to this time. I'm gonna take a break at this time. I gotta make calls at this time. I gotta do this at this time. And then like you can say, okay, my day is done at this time. It don't work like that when you're a nano. And I'm not saying that like small influencers, we work harder than mega influencers, because I don't think that's true. I think that it is truly the same amount of work. Whether you are a mega influencer or a micro or a nano influencer, it is the same. Look at this little boy. What is he doing? And y'all know this baby is black. Who are these people with this little black? Why is she looking over her shoulder? Oh, y'all stealing black babies. Uh-oh. Somebody call somebody. Anyway, I gotta close the blinds when I do this because I be nosy. Anyway, I I will say that again, it is the same amount of work. Like in my opinion, it doesn't matter what size influencer you are, the workload is the same. Like 100%. And I would say it's harder when you're a smaller influencer, because if you do have a 9 to 5 job outside of being an influencer, then you have to deal with that. And then it sucks because it's like you try to make time to like do certain things for, with your content while you're working, and like it doesn't always work out that way. And then you get frustrated. Like for me, I work at a bank, and like if I make time to try to like fix something, edit something, or just post something real quick, I get interrupted all the time because I'm also a manager at the bank. So if it's not people interrupting me being like, can you help me? Can you do this? Can I have an override? It's customers coming in and interrupting me. And I get so frustrated, but then I have to remember like, well, girl, like this is your job, So yeah, that was my point, is like, even though I got home, I left work at 11:30 this morning and have been at home ever since, I have been working ever since. So I've been going since 4:30 this morning. I got up early, I brushed my teeth, washed my face, all that jazz, worked out, and then I had breakfast, and then I've just been go, go, go. So like even right now, like I'm ready to crash and I'm still working. So yeah, it's fine. It's okay. I choose to do this, and I love doing it. And so it is what it is. But yeah, so if I'm not like, it's just because I've been going since 4:30 this morning, and I'm ready to just sit down and watch my scary stories and like woosah. But anyway, let's get into the topic for today, which this is going to be a different one. Excuse me. It's going to be a different one. We are going to talk about something, and I don't have a lot of notes for this one, but I did feel like it was worth talking about, just because if you know anything about me, I like to find the subliminal message in everything. Even when I went and saw the last 50 Shades of Grey movie, I still found the subliminal message in the end, and I cried. I guess you would say like it's the bottom line or whatever. I don't know. But I feel like I saw the message there for real, outside of all the sex stuff. And I legitimately cried at the end of 50 Shades Freed. I did. Because they had come so far. But anyway, so, ow! Struggling. All right. So anyway, let's get back to it. Let's talk about the Barbie movie. I know, y'all are probably like, ugh, the Barbie movie. Yes, let me get a little sip. The Barbie movie. And I want to talk about the Barbie movie because I feel like people have been talking about it a lot on social media. And I just want to give my takeaways. I will say this. I noticed, and I think this is very obvious, and this has nothing to do with like the movie, as far as like the movie, go with me. I noticed that the reaction from audiences was very different when it came to this nostalgic Barbie movie, which millennials, and I would say some Gen Z as well, probably Gen Z. Barbie is we still have Barbies. But you grew up playing with Barbie. You had Ken, you had Tori. I don't know if y'all remember Tori. She was the brunette. Then there was also Skipper. There was everybody. I can't think of Teresa, not Tori. Who was Tori? No, I think there was a Tori. I don't know, but there was definitely Teresa. But we grew up playing with Barbies. I know me, I loved like things that emulated like family. So like, that's why I still play The Sims from time to time. Although my Sims be wreaking havoc. Okay. They're straight chaos. Like one of these days I'm gonna have to do a gameplay for y'all so y'all can see. My Sims be on some straight chaos. I'm like, what? I did not make y'all to be like this. And they don't care. They do what they want to do. My Sims be having issues. But yeah, that's why I still play The Sims. And I played with Barbies legit until I was in the 7th grade. Like I tried to give them up when I was in 5th grade because I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to be in middle school. I got to get rid of my Barbies. But I couldn't. So I think 7th grade, because that was the year that like my mom I had this built-in toy box. It was built into the wall. So like the toy box itself was like screwed into the wall, and then it was on the floor. And then over top of the toy box was shelves. And that was a bookshelf. So my mom was sick of that. This little boy, he be walking like a grown man. Oh, he mad. His dad pissed him off. He looking like, I'm crying because I can't put my hands on you right now. Let me leave the people in the neighborhood alone. Anyway, so nah, cause I've been there. You know when your parents be pissing you off. Look, and his dad ain't even tripping. Like, man, I got this big gulp. I ain't tripping. But it be like that, man. When your parents be pissing you off, you be like, I just want to put my hands on you right now. And you can't, and you be mad, like trying to cry, trying not to cry because you're trying to suck it up, but you tear it up because you just want to slap somebody. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, once my mom ripped up she's like, this bookshelf has to go. I was just like, all right, well, I guess the Barbies have to go too. And I did. I got rid of them. And I didn't have a desire for them. And that's when I fully traded in for The Sims. I was like, this is way more fun. But yeah, we all grew up playing with Barbies. So it's like, no, nothing new. But what I want to touch on first is like the reaction. So there was, excuse me, God, been gassy. Excuse me. And I hope you guys can't hear it. If you can, again, I'm sorry, but I had bariatric surgery and it comes with it. So it is what it is. The reaction. Very nostalgic movie. We've been dealing, like I said, we've been playing with Barbie since we were little girls. And even before that, I believe Barbie came out in like the 50s. So another nostalgic movie that recently came out would be The Little Mermaid. And I think you know exactly what I'm saying. The reaction was very different. The Little Mermaid came out and it started, even before they started making The Little Mermaid, when they just cast people, when people were just cast and they just announced the cast, hadn't started filming anything, just announced the cast. The reaction from people was very different. And it honestly very negative in the beginning. Once we got into, it died down. And then once we got into like filming, the reaction was still not great. I mean, those who get it, and we were excited and we were hyped from the jump, but others were not. When it came to The Little Mermaid coming out, I noticed that mentioning to people at my job, I'm just going to use my job as an example, mentioning to people at my job that like, oh, and I don't mean my coworkers, here come this dude with the loud car. I don't mean my coworkers. I mean like people who came into the bank, mentioning to them like, oh yeah, I think The Little Mermaid's getting ready to come out, so I think me and my girls are gonna go see it, you know. The reaction was very different versus last weekend when Barbie came out and I was like, yeah, my best friend and I are going to see the Barbie movie. And they were like, oh God, girl, Barbie, you're funny. Well, enjoy it. Tell me if it's good, you know what I mean? But when I was like, oh, we want to go see The Little Mermaid, it was like, okay. Yeah. So that was number one to me. Nostalgia is nostalgia. It doesn't matter if it's black nostalgia, white nostalgia, like Hispanic nostalgia, Asian nostalgia, like, you know what I'm saying? Like nostalgia is nostalgia. Like you can't put a race, you can't put a color on nostalgia. Like it just is. So I just feel like it's sad that in 2023, the reaction is so different. So let me start with my overall thoughts of the Barbie movie. I thought it was good. I did not think it was great. I personally did not get into the Barbie movie. Not into it. It wasn't what I expected. I wasn't expecting that to be the Barbie movie. I wasn't expecting it to go the way that it did. And it's not a bad thing. I just wasn't expecting. I was expecting something totally different. So, overall, I thought the end of it was good. Once we got almost to the end, once we got to the part where everybody woke up and realized who they were, and without spoiling anything, when Ken woke up and when Ken realized he needed to figure out who he was from that point of the movie to the end, like once Ken and Barbie had that conversation and Ken realized I need to figure out who I am, on my own, from there till the credits was phenomenal. I loved it. I cried. I thought it was great and I thought it was real. Now, were there things before that I won't even say that. Maybe not until Ken. I would say, well, for me, that's when I checked in. That's when I checked in. But I would say, if you want to say, it gets real when Barbie comes to the real world. And you guys know she's going to be in the real world because you saw the clips of her skating on Venice Beach. It gets real when she comes to the real world. Especially like the things that Ken realizes and Barbie realizes out in the real world. But also the moment that America Ferrera's character has where she's having that conversation with Barbie about like what women are expected to be and do. That's when it got real. But for me, like, I don't feel like I didn't get interested until that moment with Ken on to the end. So that's it. But it was good. It wasn't bad. I'm not going to be like, oh, stupid movie. Like, it wasn't bad. Like, it was good. The theme of the movie was not what I thought it was going to be. But I will say this, the theme of the movie was very real. It was very real. Way realer than I thought it would be. I did not see it going that way. I think I just expected like a typical Barbie movie. But this was real. This was real. And I definitely would implore mothers and daughters to go see it together. I would implore best friends to go see it together, sisters. And honestly, go see it with your man. Take your little brother, take your big brother, take your husband, take your boyfriend, take your crush, like seriously, because there are messages in this movie that I would say some eyes might need to be open to see how they really be acting. And that would lead me to my next point, would be the hidden messages in the movie. Again, without giving away too much, there were definitely some messages about like misogyny, about just women and how we view ourselves. Okay, sorry guys, YouTube was acting up. My recording device was acting foolish. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, the hidden messages. Yeah, go see it. Emotional moments. I know that if you've seen the TikToks, you've seen people like, hi, my name's Becca, and this is me before the Barbie movie. And then they come out of the Barbie movie and their makeup's like running. They're like, my name's Becca. This is me after the Barbie movie. Very real. Some people I'm sure are doing it for clout, but it's very real. Like I said, I cried. In fact, I think I cried more going back and watching certain clips from the Barbie movie, but it is very real. It is a tearjerker, and it's not the movie itself or like anything they like say like that. It's just like there are moments where it's like, wow, I didn't even realize like I do feel like this. I do these things. Like this is how we're made to feel. So the emotional moments are real. That is not a lie. My biggest takeaway from the Barbie movie. My biggest takeaway from the Barbie movie is that women have an immense amount of pressure on them to be perfect. And we subconsciously are always trying to make ourselves perfect, especially like, and pretty women are always women. If you are a woman who's been considered pretty your whole life, if you ever since you were a child, people are always like, you're so pretty, you're so pretty, you're so pretty, you're so pretty, you're so pretty. This movie is for you. It's not, I'm not saying that it's not for anybody, other women as well, because it's for all women. And I think all women are beautiful in their own way. I'm just saying, if you were that girl that's always been like pretty your whole life, this movie relates to you a lot. And the immense amount of pressure that is on us every day to be just that, pretty and perfect and a Barbie, to speak, it's real. And I don't think that I've always spoken about my issues with perfectionism and me feeling like I have to be perfect at all times. Like my hair's gotta be perfectly in place. Like nothing can be out of place. Like everything's gotta be perfect. Like I feel like I've been pretty open about that before, but I don't think I realized like just how prominent that is. And I'm not the only girl that goes through it. And so that was nice, you know, to see like, wow, we really are made to feel this way. But it's true. It's like, we can't be too strong. We can't be too smart. We can't be too pretty. You know what I mean? We can't be too shy. We can't like, it just, there is an immense amount of pressure on women to be any and everything other than human. It's just like what I said earlier about how I had bariatric surgery and I am a little bit more gassy. And so like I keep pausing in these videos to say, excuse me, because I have little burps. And I had to give a disclaimer that like women do burp and poop and fart. And like, I know right now some guy is like clenching his booty hole and he's like cringing at that statement, but it's true. And it's like that level of pressure that has been put on women. Like we're so perfect that like guys have to think that we don't poop and we don't fart. Like we do. We're human. We are literally made to feel like we have to be every and anything but human. And that is the problem. And so realizing that, like, that was a big takeaway for me, is that that is the pressure that's put on us. And it's not right at all, but that is the pressure that is put on us. And that's how we feel every day. We are literally made to feel like we should be Barbies. Pretty to look at, don't want to hear you talk. Perfect in every way. You know, even when it comes to pregnancy, like they had a pregnancy Barbie and she had a little snap-on belly and then the baby goes inside. Like it didn't have to, but you could put the baby like inside the little snap-on belly and you just snap it on. And then when like she gives birth, you know, when you're ready for her to have her baby, you just snap the belly off and her body goes right back to perfect and snatched how it was before. That doesn't happen in the real world, but yet that's expected of us. So that was really real. And I think that women should be allowed to liberate themselves. This is our time of liberation. But yeah, I'll get into that in my closing remarks. But let me go to my last question of, will I see it again? Probably. I will probably watch it again. I'm not going to go out of my way to see it again, though. It's kind of like Avatar. The second Avatar movie, The Way of Water. Good movie. Traumatizing. I probably will not go out of my way to watch Avatar again, but if the opportunity presents itself, I shall. But either way, it was good. I would see it again when it comes out on video, on streaming or whatever. I'd probably watch it again. Or if somebody was like, hey, let's watch the Barbie movie. Yeah, sure. If one of my friends is like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? You want to go see the Barbie movie? I mean, if you're not trying to see Insidious, The Red Door, then yeah, I guess we can. But for me, it's not one of those movies that like jerk my tears, man. I'm not trying to see that a million times. Like, I'm good. I don't need to be traumatized once. Like, so, but I would see it again. I'm just not going to go out of my way to see it again. So, with my closing remarks, and this is a short one, but I wanted to keep it short because I can't give away too much about the movie. My closing remarks would be this. Outside of going back with the message, the overall message of the Barbie movie, I have a message for two groups of people. So the number one would be for men. Men need to realize and understand women are human. We are human beings. We are not sexual objects. We are not objects of lust. We are not just here for your pleasure. We're not just here for you to look at. We are human beings. We have feelings. We bleed. We hurt. We cry. And to be honest, we do a whole heck of a lot. We give birth. We carry babies. We have menstrual cycles. We do a lot. We shoulder the problems of everything, of work, life, school, the world, on our shoulders, and we're expected to carry that. Whereas you guys have a cold and it's like, oh, the baby, let me baby him, and you expect to be babied. But we have the flu and we're still at work, powering through. We're sick, we're throwing up, and we're still at work, going to the bathroom, throwing up, and then coming back, trying to power through, not given the same sympathy. So men need to realize that women are human beings, period. Just like you, we are human. We do all of the same things. We function all of the same ways. We use the bathroom the same way. The only difference is you stand, we sit. But we still go number one. We still go number two. We still have bodily functions. We still are human, period. We do not want to just eat salad all of the time, period. And my next thing would be for women. You need to realize that you indeed are human. And no matter how society has made you feel, no matter how your family has made you feel, no matter what pressures you put on yourself or societal pressures that you feel like you're under or things that you feel like you have to do in order to be perfect, you're never going to be perfect. It doesn't exist. The limit does not exist, okay? You're never going to be perfect. So relieve yourself of that pressure today. Relieve yourself of that pressure because you're never going to be perfect. It's not possible. It's just not. And you've got to let that go, and you've got to realize that you are human. Above all else, you are human. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says or expects from you. You are human, and you are always going to be human. And that is the best that you can give. You got to give yourself some grace. And that is my like big thing around this. That is my statement for this. If you don't get anything else out of this podcast, get this. You as a woman have got to give yourself some grace. Men, you've got to give yourself grace too. This episode is about the ladies, but men, you have to give yourself grace too. So we as people have to give ourselves grace, but we as people also have to give others grace. It's okay if somebody keeps doing the same thing to you over and over and over and over and over again and keeps hurting you. It's okay to walk away and say, you know what? I can no longer have you in my space, so I got to bounce and I got to love you from a distance. That's okay. But we have to give people grace because people are going to mess up and make mistakes. You have to have the discernment and the wisdom to know when it's time to walk away from a situation. Yes. But that doesn't mean you walk away from every situation. And that doesn't mean that you just put yourself down because you didn't do this perfectly. Things are not going to be perfect. But his grace is sufficient for us. And we need to have that same grace for ourselves and for others. So give yourself some grace today and give other people around you grace. Period. So that's it. Oh my gosh. People are really irritating my soul. Hold on. I am so sorry. Now it's the podcast messing up. So let me just save this really quick. Oh my gosh. I need to start recording on different devices, but I'll be honest, it's just so much easier to do it on phones. Like it really is. But of course that leads to people messing up my stuff. But anyway, all right, we are back. I'm so sorry. Over to the podcast. We got cut off, so we are back on. You didn't miss anything. So now YouTube's been cut off, podcast has been cut off. We're good. So that is it. Shout out to everybody who's listening from every city, every state, every province, every country, every town, every village, every continent. I am so grateful that you're here. Thank you so much for being here. You could have been anywhere else, but instead you chose to be here listening to me ramble on and on and on and on. And for that, I am eternally grateful. You guys are the best. Remember to give yourself grace today, tomorrow, and every day. And please give grace to others today, tomorrow, and every day. And again, have the wisdom and discernment to know when it's time to walk away from something, but don't walk away before you give it the same grace that Jesus gives you every day. Okay, forgiveness is a must, baby, and you got to forgive yourself. So make sure that you guys follow this podcast at Let's Talk with I think it's Let's Talk with Aislyn, actually, over on Instagram. If you can't find it, you can just search at Aislyn Wade. I'm at Aislyn Wade on everything. That's AISLYN WADE. It's also in the show notes. I'm at Aislyn Wade on everything. You can head over to my Instagram, and that's where you can find a link to this podcast, a link to the podcast's page. You can also follow me on TikTok. I post up over there, as well as if you want to watch this or any of my other videos, you can watch them on my YouTube. Again, that's Aislyn Wade. But that is it. You guys know where to find me. Let's connect. I love chatting with you guys. I love hearing your stories, and I love hearing your feedback. So that is it, you guys. Again, give yourselves grace, and I will see you guys in the next one with hopefully a lot more energy. Bye.